What is up, guys? I do hope you're well, and welcome back to another episode from the Daddy Cringe subreddit. If you do want your story shared, post it on the Daddy Cringe subreddit and get involved. We would love to have you there. And with that being said, let's get straight into it. Much love, guys. Now we have a story from Rampage CG1. Thank you very much. My fiance's mum is an EP. Alright, so my first post on here. I'm a mobile and have a tendency to do run-on sentences, so I apologise. But all in all, the story shall commence. Love your videos, by the way. Thank you very much, that means the world. Alright, so for the sake of confidentiality, the key is as follows. FM, fiance's mum. F, fiance. Me. B, friend. TD, Tinder date. Ooh, nice. So this all starts as single me, going through depression and all that fun stuff. So one day in December 2017, I asked my B if she knew anyone who wanted a boyfriend. I know, kind of a desperate move. I wasn't going to say nothing, but was thinking it. And she says she knows a girl. So that night, B makes a meeting point for the two of us, and we meet not long after. At this point, we get along smoothly, and everything is going great, and after a little while, we start dating. Now, I'm not the smartest person. Being only 17, we do adult things. Long story short, F gets pregnant, and this is when FM starts disliking me. We found out the pregnancy is February of 2018, gender is unknown. This is when the real story starts, so let me set the scene. I'm living with my friend whose house is nearby to FM and F's house. F is still just my girlfriend at this point. F is living with FM, who by the way is a manipulative crazy bitch who cares about nothing but what she wants. This is important. And Valentine's Day is coming. I'm currently working at McDonald's. There. Scene is set. Now please keep your arms and legs inside the coaster at all times. This is about to get bumpy. So I've just noticed that F has been slowly distancing herself from me. This is something I noticed, so I tried to make more of an effort. Then suddenly out of the blue, I get a text from her telling me that she's breaking up with me. I was devastated. I went into a horrible depression, stopped going to school, took a few days off from work, and tried to make this better through text. I was too nervous to do it in person. And all I get back are texts that say, "Stop texting my daughter, otherwise you'll pay. FM. After a while, I gave up. Fast forward a few months, I quit my job, I tried to move on. Found somebody on Tinder in a different town, did Tinder things with them, protected of course, I hope so this time. When I was at her house, I get a text from F, saying she wants to meet up. I still missed her at this point, but I thought she was going to talk to me about some kind of custody plan, but I agree anyway. So I get back into my hometown and meet her at a park. She brought a dog, which I love, and she tells me she wants to make things better. I agree almost instantly, and this is when I found out everything that happened. So F tells me that FM had been trying to split us apart from the second she hears that F was pregnant, by dropping comments such as, "What is he really doing for you right at this moment? Had he given you any money today? There's no way that he'd be able to support you and the baby flipping burgers," and a whole bunch of other things that would make somebody question things. And when she decides it was time for the final blow, she says to F, "You should leave him, he'd never be able to make you truly happy." This all was painful, but relieving to hear. I forgot to add this, but I'm living with my mum again. Reason why I was with a friend is a whole different story. Nothing bad with my relationship with my mum. She tells me that she wants to come back with me. So me seeing the best in her, I do. But she says, "Mum can't know about this, she would flip her shit." I then reply, "Fuck her. She doesn't get a say in who you date, who you're with. You're an adult just like me." I'm 18 at this point, she's 19, which means that you can make your own decisions. I forgot what was said after, but we go back to my house and we stay there. Then something happened. Her mum found out. I don't know how, but she did, and she starts verbally abusing both of us, F especially. I also heard that FM wasn't going to tell me when my child was going to be born, in order so I couldn't sign the birth certificate. She wanted to raise me completely. I'm not unemployed at this point, I'm working at Burger King, lower pay but better treatment, fair trade-off. Most of it blows over eventually, me not having my license. She starts giving us rides to the appointments with the midwives, and we then find out the gender. It's a girl, and at this point an outsider would say all is well, but all was not well. It was quiet for a few months, nothing worth mentioning here. Then after our daughter is born, this is sort of off topic, but those who are pregnant or plan to be, take the epidural. F went through 12 hours of screaming pain from 9 PM to 9 AM. As soon as she took the epidural, she was out like a light. She says she felt no pain after that. It was worth it. Anyways, Her mum then says things like, "He's only making minimum wage, he can't support either of you, much less himself." But because she's living with me and my mum, her attempts to split us up a second time fail, and we shut her out of our lives for a month. I get a new job that pays well, and we're happy. The same month my daughter was born, we get engaged, and it was the happiest day of my life. And now we're in the present, I get a different job that pays better, with lots of overtime, but her mum hasn't given up. She's even trying to get to her with one of FM's co-workers, but F rejects them every time. I know that FM will never like me, and I'm fine with that, because I've got a beautiful 7-month-old daughter who smiles 90% of the time, a gorgeous woman in my life. I've moved out from my mum's, and I finally got a car and a licence. Life is good at this point. I'm happy, F is happy, and our daughter Eve, slightly different name, is also happy. Sorry this post was so long, but I needed to get it out. Thanks for reading this monster of a post. All I gotta do now is hope that I don't need karma to post this, otherwise I'll be upset. Don't forget to subscribe to Daddy Cringe, ring the notification bell for updates, and when he uploads another fantastic video, and follow his Twitter. He posts great memes, and it's a great way to contact him. That is true, my man. Thank you very much for pointing that out. Subscribe today. What a story though, what an epic. Oh, it's such a shame. You know, regardless of what she thinks of you and stuff, she'd think that she'd at least try and work through it for the granddaughter's sake. I mean, grandparents love grandkids, and she's going to push you guys away, and then in the end not going to get to see the child if she keeps doing what she's doing. But I'm so happy, and fuck her, man, if she doesn't like that you was flipping burgers back then. McDonald's is a great job. People got to do that, and it's a great job. You know, I hate people that look down on jobs like that, because, you know, people got to do those jobs, regardless of what you think of them. And, yeah, fuck them, basically. Thank you so much for sharing that story with us. Much love, my dude. And well done for getting your life back on track. Fantastic. Now we have a story from Echo Monroe. I don't care that you're putting your animal to sleep. I was here first. Hi there. Love the channel. So this is a cross post from r/entitledpeople. Several years ago, I'd been at a family Christmas party where my uncle kept hearing a tiny squeal type noise whenever he went outside. When he went to investigate, he found a newborn kitten. My grandfather said he was going to take him to the pound, so my mother and I took him in. His name was Bandit, and for the next 8 years, he was our boy. One day we noticed he hadn't been acting quite right, and he was looking a bit thin. He'd always been a chunky boy, so when we noticed he lost a little weight, we got concerned and took him to the vet. They told us he had cancer, specifically throat cancer, and was having a hard time swallowing because of it. They put him on some medicine that was supposed to slow the progression, and we tried it for about a month, but he was getting worse. My mother and I had to make a very difficult decision to put him down. Now the vet's office we go to is a clinic, so it's first come first serve unless it's a life-threatening case, or you're having your animal put down, then you get bumped to the top of the list. I went to have him put down, as my mum had to work that day. I told the woman at the desk why I was there, and she said all the doctors and techs were busy. This place is always packed, so I wasn't surprised. But as soon as someone was free, they'd call me back. I stand in the corner of the waiting room crying with my boy in his carrier. An older woman did her best to comfort me, and I'm still thankful for her to this day. They call me back, and this man jumped in front of me and goes to walk in. The vet stops him and asks him to sit back down and wait his turn, and that I was next. This guy goes ballistic, screaming, kicking chairs, the whole 9 yards. He keeps screaming, "I've been here all day. I should be next. She just got here." The vet tries tactfully to explain that this was not a normal checkup. and that I was there for something else. This jerk screams, "I don't care what that little brat is having done. Her animal isn't more important than mine. Her cat is just fine. I should be next." At this, I start sobbing, and this dude tells me to suck it up and quit being dramatic. I wind up screaming at him that I'm having my cat put down. I will never forget his response. "See, she's having her animal killed anyway, so you should focus on the ones that are going to keep living." Holy fucking shit. I was fucking floored. Yeah, me too. The woman who had been comforting him stood up and straight up called him an arsehole. Her and the vet helped me get to the back so I could put my baby down. The actual shot was traumatizing as well. If you don't want to read this part, I would surely understand. Well, we're going to read it, but I suggest you, if you don't want to hear this bit, then you skip the next, I don't know, 30 seconds or so. I'll put a timestamp in the description. When they gave him the shot, his heart stopped, but he kept breathing. The The cancer had spread so far that his heart couldn't take it and didn't pump around the rest of his body. The vets had to give him another dose. They gave me a few minutes to grieve and hold my boy and said that when I was ready to leave, I could exit out the staff exit so I wouldn't have to go through the lobby. When I left, the jerk was outside with his dog talking about me rather loudly. All I heard was something about how he should have been next. I took my baby home and put him in the earth. I still don't know what possesses people to behave that way. You're about to get a most likely normal checkup for your perfectly healthy animal, and I had to make the awful decision that mine's life should end. Hope this guy never has to go through what he put me through. And damn right, I'm so sorry. Pets are just like, they just grab your heart and rip it out. I've had several dogs when I was growing up, and there was 3 of them, and they all passed away from cancer, and I had to get them all put down. I was young at the time, so my parents did it, but I just remember one of my dogs. Sorry, I'm going a bit off on on my story now. I don't mean to do that way. I'm just trying to explain what I went through. Like, I know how you feel, kind of thing. But yeah, I remember my mum come back one day with my first dog, who was called Shelley. It was a collie cross. She had puppies, so we had a litter of puppies, but which we kept one of them, and our friends took some others. Yeah, I just remember her coming back after she had cancer. I thought she was just going for a checkup, and my mum just came back with her dog lead and collar and gave it to me and said, "I'm sorry." And I just remember that. Fucking hell, that hurt so bad. So I totally understand what you had to go through, and much love to that, because it hurts so much. And for that arsehole to do that, let's just hope karma is a real thing and it will bite him in the arse. Not on his pet, but just some in shitty way. I don't know, break his ankle or something, because he deserves more than that. But let's start with a broken ankle, shall we? Much love, and thank you for sharing that story, and I'm so sorry you had to go through that. Now we have a story from I Chew My Socks. Great username. EM tries to defend her pervy son. Okay, I'm on mobile, so blah blah blah. A little backstory, I live in the UK, and this is my first time encountering an entitled parent. We're in a shopping mall with my mum. Cast EP the devil in disguise. EK, weirdest kid ever. Sis, my brilliant sister. Me, wonder who that is. Let's go. So I was in a shop with my sister, and she is young. I'm not going to say our ages for obvious reasons, and was on my phone when I noticed EP and EK. Didn't think much of them. Then I glanced at EK. He was staring at something with a demonic look on his face. I looked to where he was staring. It was my sister. She was looking at Barbies or something, I don't know. He whispered something to his mum, and she smiled weirdly. Then he went to my sister and grabbed her and ran his hands down her. I immediately ran at him and kicked him in the face, and boom, he was down. God, that escalated quickly. Then Karen shouts, "Hey you! Don't you ever," I interrupted her and kept shouting, "Keep your pervy son away from my sister." People were looking now. Then she said, "I was just messing around. Boys will be boys," she said smugly. I told her to get fucked, and I hope your son gets beat up by the next girl he tries to touch. Then I took my sister and went to my mum and was fuming and told her don't worry about it. I dealt with it, and we continued our shopping. As a sorry to my sister, I gave her £50 and told her to go wild with it. A message to that EP, your son will grow up being a perv. Good luck, next time the police get involved. Whoa. A flying kick to the face. What are you, Chuck Norris or something? But I don't get why you were sorry for your sister now. I know she just had like a traumatic experience, but obviously it wasn't your fault. So you gave her 50 quid. Nice. Good big brother though. I totally get that. Much love. Thanks for sharing.